Can you please introduce yourself?
Well, I'm Jason Ferguson and I'm chairman of the WPBSA, which is snooker's world governing body. I'm also a director of World Snooker. World Snooker owns the World Snooker Tour.
And what are the origins of snooker, this great sport that we all love?
Well, it's a fascinating sport with a fascinating history. Snooker was invented in 1875 in Jabalpur in India. The history tells us that it was the British Army that were based there at the time, and it came from other games that were being played on what is a billiard table.
And can you tell us a little bit more about how snooker is represented around the world in terms of like the countries where it's popular and the amount of people who are playing the game?
Well, today snooker is played regularly in about 100 countries. And when I say regularly, I mean that there is some kind of structure, like a national championship or a structure where there is a tour of events. So there's around 100 countries with some kind of developed formula to help players compete in the sport. Outside of that, of course, recreationally, it must be played just about everywhere.
How different does the tour look today from when you were a player?
Just in the last 15 years, this tour has gone through major changes, and not many people remember that I actually used to be a snooker player. But so thank you for reminding me about that. Coming back to the sport 15 years ago, it's gone from 6 or 8 events, £3.5 million in prize money to professional players, to over 20 events in a season, televised all over the world, players travelling all over the world, events in those territories. Asia, very strong snooker market in Asia. Europe is very, very strong as well. And it's great to see how the sport has been globalised. I think what I would say is I would have loved what we have today as a snooker player back then.
How important are using like high quality balls and high quality cloth when you're playing snooker?
Well, this is a sport of science and technique and ability and concentration, but it is a precision sport, in fact classed under the IOC as a precision sport. The level of precision required in this sport, both from the players themselves and the equipment, is really just quite incredible. And that, I think, is one of the things that creates such drama. Every player knows that any shot can be missed at any time. What that also means is if there are failures in equipment, the balls, anything else, that we know that any shot can be missed at any time. So having the very best products and having the very best suppliers to work alongside and our partners is absolutely of paramount importance to this sport. The perfection that we get from our cloth manufacturers, Strachan, and the perfection that we get from Aramith in the balls is really just at the highest level.